How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Into the Bengal-Verse podcast. I am your host, Mario Malave, giving you an in-depth look of your Cincinnati Bengals. If you are new here, please be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all your Bengals news. Today, we're going to be recapping the 24-10 victory for the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, that's right, victory in Heinz Field. When was the last time? When did any one of us ever think that sentence would ever come out of our mouths? Because it has been since 2015 when we made the playoffs, when we won the division. That was the last time we won in Heinz Field. And wow, it was. I know Steelers fans and especially diehard ones, you know, they can say there was injuries, which there were plenty of injuries, but you know what? They were still heavily favored. They weren't heavily favored this game, but they were heavily favored on that Monday Night Football game last year when they had a healthy roster, even though they were in their slump. And the Bengals were decimated at injury, and they beat them with Ryan Finley. And now the Bengals beat them when they were missing T. Higgins, but they beat them. And when the Steelers deal with adversity and they deal with injuries, they couldn't get the job done. And we're going to be recapping this whole game. We're going to be going into it. I'm here rocking T. Higgins jersey. Wasn't even playing, but you know what? I have plenty of jerseys. You know, I got to give love to all the players. Man, if T. Higgins plays Thursday, which we'll get into later this week, I would love that. All right. So let's start off talking about this game. So honestly, if you ask me what set the tone for this game, there was a play in the game in which I will say was the tone setter. But Mike Hilton, former Steeler, slot corner, who I love dearly, he supposedly gave a speech to this team and broke it down how you have to have confidence, swagger. You got to walk into Pittsburgh believing and knowing that you're going to win this game. And if you walk out in there with any doubt, the Steelers will eat you alive and show no remorse. There's no mercy from them. There's no mercy. Whenever they've had winning seasons, they have no mercy. So Steelers fans have every right to be pissed because they expect and demand wins. And they were booing Ben mercilessly, but we're going to get into that. So Mike Hilton set the tone. He was giving the defense all the tips and tricks as to how to stop this offense. He was even helping Burrow, I'm sure, in terms of what coverages they were going to show, what they were going to try and do to him. And you know what? The Bengals answered the call. A game in which they should have won, in which it should be no surprise to us, knowing what we know about this team and how they're coming along and this whole process. We know that this was a game they should have won and had to win, carrying momentum into this Thursday Night Football game and forward. So we're going to start off with the defense because shout out to the defense, man. Absolutely. This is so mind-boggling to me because we are so used to having a good defense, and these past 4 years just haven't been it. After 2015, 2016, when people started leaving, people started getting older, when we didn't know when to truly start the rebuild, to blow it up or make an extra trade or whatever to help us maybe finally get over the hump. We haven't had a good defense since then, and people have been calling for Lou Anarumo, our defensive coordinator, to get fired for years now. And are you saying you want him fired now? Because I'm not. This guy can call games on the defensive end as of right now. I know it's a small sample size, but when he has his guys, which the team says they have on offense and defense, they say they finally have their guys. And this is even talking about next year when we'll still have enough money to get even more free agents and draft picks. But let's start one day at a time. Lou Anarumo, with the guys he has now, is calling a great defense. Now, it's not the best in the league by any means, but compared to what it has been these past 4 years, sheesh, man, it is just awesome to see. Awesome to see. I get excited. I get more excited to watch our defense than our offense right now. We're going to get into that, but seriously, listen to this. So, from two different sources I've seen that regardless, we have a top 10 defense, but let me break it down. So, from this first source, 6th in run defense, 22nd in pass rush, which doesn't make sense since we're top 5 in sacks, 8th in coverage, 9th overall. And then the other source said 8th in run defense, 14 in just pass defense in general, 8th overall. That's still top 10. We walked into this year thinking, oh, it'll be 15 at best. It'll be around 20. Oh my gosh. Now, you can say, oh, we played the Vikings and the Steelers and the Bears. But seriously, did anyone really think we would be in this position today? I mean, I was always optimistic. But top 10, this is This is awesome, guys. Like, you don't understand. If the defense can keep playing like this, we are going to be able to win games in which people would maybe give it away to the other team because the defense wouldn't be able to make that extra stop or whatever the case may be. But the defense balled out. We held the Steelers to 10 points, and they dominated the possession, the time of possession with the ball. Okay? When we started off the game, Steelers went 4-and-out. They had some holding penalties. Same thing happened to us. They get it back. And we stop him again, and then Burrow throws that pick. He tries to force it to Boyd. Was I nervous? No, I just thought that Burrow was trying to force something there. It could have been a nice play, but you know what? Terrell Edmonds got their first pick of the year. It's whatever. When we got the ball back and we started moving, man, Joe Burrow, honestly, if you ask me, like, what's going to truly kickstart this offense, when Burrow got... when the only pressure of the game that the Steelers had, by the way, they had a 75-game streak of having a sack. 75-game streak. That's years of having a sack in every game. That streak was finally snapped, and they only had one pressure, and when they got that pressure, Burrow did his classic spin around, Russell Wilson type spin around, jukes out the defenders, and he does that little whoop, 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 and, Minka tackles him from behind his legs, and he falls short of the first, but that put us in position, and Chris Evans got that third down conversion. He's been getting incorporated a lot, but man, when Burrow was starting to get mobile, and he started moving around, that was so electric to see. And when you have the offense playing like that with such limited time of possession, going against a team that's usually kicked your butt, when they dominate the ball, whenever they grind it out, whenever they make you make mistakes, the mental mistakes, this whole big brother thing, it might be over. I think it's over. I'm not saying we're going to dominate these guys like we've dominated the Browns, but it's a new day. Like, seriously, it's a new day, and I know Steelers fans might not want to admit it, but they got to wake up. If you ask me, I think they have the worst quarterback in their division. I know their offensive line's bad. I know they have injuries. But you know what? It's football. That's a part of the game. And you got to find ways to win. And they didn't, and we did. And I have no mercy for the Steelers fans, especially that I have friends who are Steelers fans. And I am so freaking pumped that we got this win in Heinz Field. And imagine how it's going to be when we play them in Paul Brown Stadium. But man, let's talk about some of these individual defensive players. Sam Hubbard finally got a sack. He clobbered Big Ben, absolutely put him in the dirt, leading to Logan Wilson catching a one-handed over-the-shoulder interception, bringing that in, helping the Bengals get a touchdown on that right after, which was absolutely awesome to see. And man, Trey Hendrickson, what can I say? The more and more I think about it, I always kept saying, we should have kept Carl Lawson. And I don't want to be that guy, but it stings because he was always getting injured. And I'm not saying he would have had the same injury with us if we kept him, but Trey Hendrickson, man, he's reliable against the run. He's been getting a sack every game, I believe. I believe he has 2.5 so far in the season. I mean, half a sack. He'll still take it. And he's been solid in the run. So Trey Hendrickson, have a day. BJ Hill, he had a sack on Big Ben when he did a little club and rip when he was working against offensive linemen as Ben rolled out the pocket. And Ben has just been holding the ball for so long. I don't know if he just can't see what's going on in the defense, but BJ Hill got a freaking sack. And the more and more he plays, the more and more we won that trade, honestly, because this dude BJ Hill can play. To be our third defensive tackle, oh my goodness, he's awesome. And Tupou. These guys are awesome. For our team to finally be able to let our starting D-line take a rest and then the reserves come in for a player or two, like, we know we're not going to get gashed. Like, that's just how it feels at the moment. And that's just awesome. And then on another drive, Big Ben, he also rolled out the pocket and he tried to pump fake, and Logan Wilson, what do you know? Another pick. Logan Wilson, ladies and gentlemen, certified baller, if you ask me now. We finally have one of those players, other than like Jesse Bates or whoever it may be. Maybe you could say Jonah Williams as of right now. But we drafted a person, and in their second year, they are taking a monumental leap. Now, Logan Wilson was good last year, but this year, he leads the league in interceptions right now with 3 over corners. We saw Mike Edwards have, 2 pick sixes against the Falcons last week? This dude, Logan Wilson has more picks than him. Like, what is going on? We're just not used to this. We're always used to having slow linebackers that can't cover tight ends. Logan Wilson, as of right now, is, I believe, a top 3 graded in man coverage linebacker with a 90, according to PFF. This is awesome. Like, that is huge. You need players to take leaps like that. If you want to have depth in terms of drafting and be able to draft well, that puts you ahead of the rebuild. Like, you need leaps like that from second-year players. And I know we expected it, but, man, Logan Wilson, there's no doubt about it. He can ball. He's a good player. And Akeem Davis-Gaither, he got 54% of the snaps. He's starting to get more snaps. Jermaine Pratt, I know he started to take a little bit of decrease in snaps, but the linebackers are starting to play good. They're starting to play good, and they're starting to play good because the defensive line is playing good. DJ Reader, once again, has another tackle for a loss on Najee. Absolutely stiffs him at the line. DJ Reader is letting everybody eat. DJ Reader's eating. Larry Ogunjobi, another tackle for a loss. Like, everybody is eating on this defensive line right now. And when was the last time we could say that? Because we had practice squad players literally starting last year. This is absolutely amazing to see. Seriously. Jesse Bates had a good game according to PFF. He was once again making plays, and honestly, I'm convinced that the reason why Jesse Bates isn't really getting his hands on the ball much is because teams aren't looking his way, because they know that he's going to be able to get sideline to sideline and make that play. And honestly, that's a great thing, because if you look at the amount of times the Steelers kept throwing to Najee because they couldn't run it to him laterally, Najee literally had 14 catches, tying a Steelers record with Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown has done this twice with 14 receptions in the game. Najee caught it 14 times because other than Claypool, Juju got hurt in the third quarter. Najee was the only source of offense. And the fact that he had over 100 receiving yards and he got held to, I believe less than 70 rushing yards. Bengals did it once again. I know that's just crazy. It's crazy. Because we never expected, I know we expected this defense to be better, but I guess that's what happens when you spend $200 million on your defensive line. And Trey Wayne should be coming back this week. At least I'm hopeful that he does. It only makes sense that he does. Zach Taylor said he sounds optimistic that he's gonna be. This defense is balling right now, guys. Seriously, it's balling. Like, do not take this for granted. Every time I watch a game, I go back and I look at the highlights, and I keep watching, and I'll see all the Bengals fan pages or whoever post on Twitter clips and breakdowns of what's going on, and I never take a game for granted, because football is the greatest sport in America. Now, if you want to talk about the world and like soccer, that's different. I get that, but in America, I love football. I know the majority of Americans love football. At least I believe they do. And man, just imagine being a Bengals fan right now. Seriously. I've seen this team from 2011 to 15 and 16 to last year. Seriously, guys. Like, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but seriously, like, if it's not this year, it's certainly got to be next year in terms of playoffs. And I don't want to say making a run. I'm not saying we're making a run, because we got to win one game at a time this year, and this Bengals team still has lots to prove. It's only been 3 games. But seriously, why don't we have a reason to be optimistic? And that starts with Joe Burrow. We're going to get into the offense right here. It starts with Joe Burrow. And we saw Joe Burrow do something for the first time that we haven't seen him do since, I don't recall if he did it against Washington. I wouldn't doubt if he did. But we finally saw him scramble. And I literally said this last episode. If you don't believe me, go check it out. I literally said, we gotta get Burrow to start moving around, because he can't be a sitting duck. Because when you have a sitting duck, and if Burrow is not in his all top tier prime form that he can be when he's like 30 and on, if he's not in that form and he can't just like know every coverage and not be surprised by anything and just dink and dunk and just dot receivers, if he's not in that shape yet, he's got to use his legs to help improvise, because that's what helped him become the first overall pick. And he did it. If you don't believe me, go back and look, because he was making defenders miss. At least he only had to do it, I believe, once. Well, he ran twice. One on a QB draw. He called that up in an audible, and I had a feeling he was going to do it too, because the box was light. The box was light because they stacked the box. They tried to stop the run. They couldn't really do that, and we were just moving the ball in all sorts of ways when we had it. Burrow only threw it 18 times, folks. 18 times. The fact that we scored 3 touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns, the fact that we did that with Joe Burrow being calm, cool, composed, and not having to worry about if he has to throw 50 times a game, that was just so awesome to see. The O-line showed up so well for him and so clutch for him in so many ways. It was, like I said, if you don't believe, go back and watch this game. We've only beat the Steelers twice in 5 years. Twice. I know it's a 2-game win streak. Doesn't matter. We've never beat this team often. Go back and watch the game. Go back and watch it another time. Seriously, if you were watching that game live yesterday, go back and watch it again. You deserve it. Treat yourself. Treat yourself to view that beautiful game that we played yesterday. And it wasn't perfect by any means, but seriously, it was so awesome. I've never been so happy yesterday. I felt like I was dreaming, and I honestly did. Because I don't think anybody expected us to dominate Pittsburgh like we did. I'm going to say it. Yeah. And you can, Steelers fans, whoever can discredit anything they want. But at the end of the day, we beat them 24-10. We beat them by double digits, which hasn't been done since 1995. What a statistic. That is just crazy. So we're going to talk about the first touchdown. Burrow's moving the ball, and he hits Tyler Boyd, on a beautiful slant. He ran like I believe it was a slant or an in route. Hits it. Melvin Ingram, because they had so many injuries, he had to drop down and play outside linebacker at times. Melvin Ingram tries to boof him. He is Minka, and I don't remember who the other player was with him. He bounces off Melvin Ingram and just runs in for the touchdown. And because he's from Pittsburgh, starts blowing kisses to the crowd, saying, "How you doing?" It was absolutely awesome to see. And then when the Steelers answer the bell and had that long possession to take up most of the second quarter, with 30 seconds left, the Bengals only needed to run 3 plays. And the Steelers fans were high on this undrafted rookie, I believe he was, named James Pierre. I believe his name's James Pierre. And pretty much Jamar Chase, he just burns him. And in the press conference, Burrow literally said, yeah, Chase said throw it up. Yeah, it's James Pierre, by the way. But Burrow literally said, Chase said throw it up to me. Throw it to me and I'll go get it. And he did. Just dust by him. And Chase right now is the highest graded rookie right now. The way all the rookie quarterbacks are playing, he's looking like the offensive rookie of the year. And Kyle Pitts, I know he's been slow and Atlanta's been slow right now, but Kyle Pitts, hopefully he turns up next year. I know rookie tight ends usually struggle, but he was picked before Chase. And look at Chase, man. He is just balling right now. Seriously. He had two TDs today. So you heard the Boyd one, which is an absolutely strong grown man play. 30 seconds left. Burrow throws it up to Chase. Once again, no surprise there, even though I can't get enough of it. Seriously. Every time Chase scores, I just lose my mind. And then Chase had another play where when Ben threw his second pick, I believe it was a second pick. I'm sorry, I know I should be more organized, but the game was just so great to watch. Regardless, Burrow had all the time in the world because, like I said, he never got sacked and never technically got hit in the backfield. No QB hits, no QB sacks. I don't think anybody ever thought that I'd be saying this. Burrow has all the time in the world, and he said that Chase was his 5th read on the second touchdown, and Chase said that this was his favorite touchdown of the year because he got to work in the red zone against a guy like Joe Hayden, who's an elite corner. Even though he's older, he's still got it in him, and he hits Chase for the touchdown. And man, Chase, man, he's really that guy. Like, seriously, he is as advertised, and I wasn't surprised. I call him the Flash. I love me some Flash, man. He's the best. He's awesome to watch. Keep in mind, the run game was very efficient. Mixon was averaging 5 yards a carry and I believe 90 rushing yards, and I think he had a catch for 4 yards. And this was all, keep in mind, even though we didn't have the ball as much, pass game and run game, this was Jackson Carman. Yes, I said it. Jackson Carman's first start at right guard over Xavier Su'a-Filo, and I understand it's a small, limited sample size, but if you ask me, keep him in the lineup and don't look back. Just don't. To have the confidence to not only be able to start and play pretty well for the most part, for his first game and in Heinz Field in an away game. I know he had a false start, but man, he was moving dudes. I know he missed a few blocks, but you know, it's the rookie butterflies, whatever the case may be. He was moving guys. He looks the part, strong, fast, and Jonah Williams looked strong and fast when he was a rookie. And look how he's progressed. He's changed his body. He's morphed his body, which Jackson Carman can do. Man, Jackson Carman, his first game, he plays a part of an O-line, and he plays a part of an O-line that didn't allow any hits or sacks to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And yes, they had injuries, whatever the case may be. But seriously, Jackson Carman was picking up stunts. He was doing his thing, man. And Burrow said he felt nothing on the right side. When a quarterback says they feel nothing, that's when you know the O-line's doing good. Absolutely awesome to see. The fact that that's honestly like, that is such a sweet feeling, knowing that we did that to the Steelers. Ended their 75-game streak of at least one sack. Wow. Keep in mind, this was also, I said this before, how Mike Hilton set the tone. This was his revenge game, and when we won the game and went into victory formation, Mike Hilton was in that victory formation, man. He was blowing kisses to the crowd. That's awesome to see, man. Mike Hilton in his first game back in Pittsburgh, and he gets to walk away with the dub. And yeah, he's done wonders for this team, man. He's been a great piece and asset in terms of the culture, helping with this rebuild, helping the defense. Man, this has just been awesome to see, watching these guys fly around. So even though I said the defense played great, the offense played well. They played well. They didn't have the ball much, and they still won by double-digit scores. They won by 14. So you'll take that any day. But the offense overall in the season is still starting off a little slow, even though they're doing good, but they're not doing great. We're expecting this offense to be great, and hopefully we can show that and blow the top off Thursday night in the jungle, in the Natty, against the Jags, against Lawrence. And even though I understand that Lawrence is in the rebuild, and we might be behind the Chargers in terms of the rebuild, even though we played them, I'm thinking we're gonna win. I'll get into that preview later, but the offense is, from a source I found, we're 28th in total offense, 17th in rushing, 28th in passing, 17th in scoring. And I think that Chicago game set us back. And we've seen games around the league where teams have already scored 30-plus or 27-plus. And that Chicago game, I think it set us back. We started week one decent, like pretty good. The Chicago game was just bad. And this last game, we just didn't have the ball enough. So we're still waiting for that game where we constantly get the ball back and just keep shredding another team's defense. And also where we dominate their offense when we're on defense. So that's yet to be seen, but hopefully we can get into that Thursday. Like I said, great win for the boys. You love to see it. You love to see Zach Taylor get another win against the Steelers. So we're not getting swept by any of our division rivals this year. So what can I say about that? Because I'm pretty sure everyone's saying, the Bengals are going to be last in the division. Bengals this, Bengals that. The Bengals are the second seed in the AFC right now. The Raiders being the first because of strength of schedule and because we already beat a division opponent. The Bengals are second in the AFC in terms of seeding. We are first in the division as of right now. The Browns also won yesterday. So winning yesterday was huge. And the Ravens also won on a ridiculous game-winning, NFL record-setting 66-yard kick by Justin Tucker that bounced in off the crossbar. Wow, that game was nuts. And I was watching it just to see if the Lions could pull off the upset. And, man, I feel bad for Detroit, man. You hate to see it. Those fans deserve better. It's just unfortunate with the circumstances given, and they have to go through this rebuild. But the Ravens, man, 4th and 19, Lamar pulled it off. He hit Hollywood Brown for a nice deep catch. I don't know how the Lions let that up, and then Justin Tucker just gets onto the field and just absolutely bombs it, even though he said he was missing from 65 and the 61 to 65-yard range early in the game. And the Browns had a dominating, impressive win against Justin Fields. But, hey, we were messing up Justin Fields too. It's just, offense started slow, and the defense, we just couldn't get that one last stop. But you know what? We're only looking ahead, and we're ahead in the division right now. And this week, we're going against the Jags. Next, we have the Packers who face the Steelers this week, so hopefully they take care of the Steelers and keep them down in the division. And keep in mind, after that, we play Detroit. So this year, remember, we play our breaks. Hopefully they're not trap games. Our breaks are Jacksonville, the Lions, and the Jets. Those are your three. And they're all 0-9. So, like 0-9 cumulatively. So hopefully we can take care of business there. So we have 2 wins now. You're looking at 5 if you can beat those 3. I know I'm looking ahead right now, but hey, I'm sorry. I'm just feeling optimistic right now. Optimistic Mondays. Man, this team is exciting to watch. And Burrow even said it best. It's an exciting time to be a Bengals fan. What a time to be a Bengals fan. Like, seriously, even if they don't make the playoffs this year, whatever the case may be, they're going to make games fun for us. They're going to be competitive. And then next year, we'll truly assert our place in the AFC. Some way, somehow. But we're in Heinz Field. What more can I say? But anyways, that's going to do it for the Bengals-Steelers recap. I will get back to you guys because it's a short week. I'll get back to you guys Wednesday for the Thursday Night Football preview against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And yeah, that's going to do it. So I'm going to leave you with a hoo-day, a blessed day, and have a great day, folks. See you when I see you.